Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Wake up, Baton Rouge. This is Catholic Community Radio. We're so glad that you joined us on this beautiful Thursday, the second week of Advent. Johnny, we going to continue with our guests.
Yeah, we were talking to Michelle Durand. Michelle, I was just so fascinated. We were talking about women who've made that choice, and they've been dealing with this all these years, and it's like it's bottled up, and it's coming, and it's dealing. And so now I'm really curious, the deacon, to find out more about the healing process. What can women expect and when they go into this process?
Yeah, that's a good question, Michelle. Kind of what is that first step, and how, for example, like with Tears to Treasures, how do you work them through this process?
Well, they've contacted me, and I meet with them, and I get some information from them, and I share with them that it's a group, a small group of no more than 6. So it's a very confidential, closed group. And when we come together, we go through this for 9 weeks. And the first thing they do is look at how do I know where I need healing? And then the character of God, because a lot of women run from God and they have a distorted view of who God is. So we really look at that, the character of God, and then relief and denial. And anger. Anger is a big week. There's a lot of anger that comes with an abortion, before abortion and after abortion. And then once that anger is exposed, then we need to process that, and we need to do forgiveness. And then we talk about depression, because the depression is with the shame, condemnation, suicidal thoughts or feelings. Then forgiven and set free is really helping them to realize that they need to forgive everyone, including themselves. And a lot of women that you talk to will say, I know God forgave me, but I just can't forgive myself. And I say to them, that's true. We don't have the power to forgive ourselves. And what you're really saying, and what we really feel, is I can't accept God's forgiveness for what I've done. And so the last week is acceptance. And then once we're done and we all are to the same place, because everyone's at different stages of the healing process when they come into the group. And so the goal is to get everyone on the same page, get them prepared to have a memorial service. This is a grieving process. So we go to a church or safe, place, and we have a treasure box. The name Tears to Treasures. They have shed a lot of tears.
I bet.
Through these 10 weeks, there's a lot of tears that have been shed, but they trust. They yield to the process, because I tell them, it's just like having open heart surgery. It's painful. You need to heal. The scar will always be there, but the pain will not be there anymore. And if I was in so much pain, I couldn't be sitting right here talking to you about my abortion.
Right.
The fact that I took my son, Joshua David's life 30 years ago, I would not be able to sit here and talk to you without crying. So those tears are then turned into a beautiful memory of Jesus holding their baby. And because the abortion is a lot, I've heard many stories, it can be a very horrible experience. And it's very traumatizing, and memories that are horrible. So we want to replace those painful memories. When they hear the word abortion, it just is like a knife in their heart. And that's the whole goal of Tears to Treasures, is to, when they hear abortion, in their mind, when I hear abortion, the first thing I think of is my precious baby in heaven. And that's the goal of the memorial service, to take something that resembles their baby, put it in the treasure chest, and bring closure to that part of their life that's been so painful for all these many years, and release it to God, and know that their child is in heaven. And the hope that they have is that they know they will see their child in heaven again.
So really, acknowledgement is that key point, that yes, to come to the reality that this is what happened. This child is lost.
It's not an it, first of all.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's sort of,
it's a boy or a girl. It has a name.
It has a name.
Give it dignity, honor,
the child
and
has
respect.
a name, right?
Yes.
In fact, Michelle, they even name that they have not. They've even named their baby. Is that what I understand?
They name their babies because their baby is just like any other child if they were able to have children. And I do realize that there's a lot of pain when women can't have children as a result of abortion. But so that might be their only child. They're still a mother.
Because it does require that acknowledgement and also that acceptance. And that's what you said. That is the key. And that's what I hear that what your struggle has been, is that to really make it grow deep into your heart, that healing, that forgiveness has been offered, not just to you, to you, as an individual, but also that the healing comes with that relationship to that child that's lost.
Realizing that was my son, and I took his life, and God has forgiven me, But I know that when I die and go to heaven, I will see my son again. Wow. And I know he's safe.
Reconciled,
Wow.
yes.
So, Michelle, there are ladies out there. There are people that know ladies out there. There are guys out there that are struggling. They don't know the root of the struggle. How do they know to contact you? And once again, the contact number is 337-322-2060. The website is www.tears2treasures.com. So how do they know to contact you? You know, that's...
How do they know? If they've had an abortion, if they paid for an abortion, if they've encouraged an abortion. If they have had an abortion, they should contact me. Because they might feel like, I'm okay, I'm fine, but they don't realize that all kind of other problems, they may not associate it with the abortion, but it has to do, they're going to have problems from the abortion. I know that. I've been doing this for 10 years now. I've seen many women. I've had women come in the group. I've had women call me and say, I've been healed. I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian for a long time, and I just want to help other women. And I say, okay, well, then you come first and go through Forgiven and Set Free, because you need to know what path you're going to lead them down. And when they come, this woman I'm thinking of, she cried the most. And she said, God set me up, but I thought I was healed, and I didn't even know.
Very
and
good.
thank
That's how
God.
God works.
And her testimony is on my website.
And one other thing, too, why don't you tell us that your story has actually been converted into a movie? Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, when I was in Texas working in Sugar Land, in Houston, a lady had wanted to do a movie about a girl she wants to deal with issues relevant to teens, geared toward teen audience and adults. And she wanted to do a movie about a girl who got pregnant at a young age, had an abortion, and found help at a pregnancy center. And Holly's story was produced in 2003, and it's available on my website. It is non-graphic. It's appropriate for ages 13 and up. And I highly recommend families, grandparents, get it for your grandchildren. Put it in there. It's very appropriate. Have family night, movie night, and it's a good way to bring the conversation up about sex, because that's very hard, but that's why we're dealing here. That's why we're here today, because we're not dealing with the issue of sex, and it gives them parents don't know how do I talk to my children about sex? Get Holly's story, put it in, and I promise you they will look at sex a different way once they see the consequences of the choices that they make.
Yeah, I understand this movie actually even won some secular awards, so it's a very, very well done.
It is.
And I love that idea that it's an opener to talk to your children, because at that age they don't think about the ramifications, and yet here's a way to do that.
And
That's
it's
wonderful.
difficult for the parents to talk to their children if they haven't at a young age.
And you know, the movie's important from this respect too, because we as Christians are always saying we don't want the government to teach our kids about sex. We don't, but yet we need to do it.
We can do it.
And so we need an
must do it.
opener, and here it is. This is a way
Tool.
to ease into it. 13 and above. Go to the website. It's tears2treasures.com. Get Holly's story, and that's a way to begin the dialogue with your children, because really, before there's abortion, there's sex, and if we don't, we need to teach our kids the ramifications, that there are consequences to our actions.
It also brings up the topic of abortion. So not only sex, but then because anyone 30 years and younger, abortion has always been legal their entire life.
It's law of the land. It's normal.
They know
for them.
exactly. So it's also a good way if you want to talk to your children or young adults about abortion. That's another way to do it, is to watch Holly's story.
Right.
And you can bring up the issue of abortion that way.
And hopefully this may preempt some abortions from taking place
it
by
will.
opening that dialogue.
Absolutely. I think if people are educated and know what abortion is, they're less likely to choose abortion.
You know, one other thing you were I was fascinated. The books that you use in the healing process. There's also a book for men.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Forgiven and Set Free is written by Linda Cochran, and it's a post-abortion Bible study for women. And I've used it for 10 years now, and it's great. And then there's a companion that goes with it.
Let's go ahead. Finish your
called
thought.
Healing a Father's Heart, that can be used with it for men and women together, husband and wife.
This is Michelle Durand, founder of Tears to Treasure. It's tears2treasures.com. It's 337-322-2060. Michelle, thank you for joining us today. Deacon Mike, thanks for being here. That's a wrap. You pray for us. We'll pray for you. God bless.